Welcome everybody to another episode of Kojay's Corner. It was episode 12, and we have a special guest today. Now, as you know, this is conversational hangout, but this is going to be the first Kojay's Corner that you could drop some comments and interact too. I've never really done that before. We're going to try it with our special, great, legendary champion in the making. He needs no introduction. You know who it is. You see the title. I'm going to bring him in. So let's do a little proper reception. Acha. Hey, there's our man.
What an intro. Epic intro.
He's looking fresh.
That's a swag out right now. Film
Yeah.
GOB is rocking this swag all day, baby.
Oh,
All day.
man. So,
With the strut.
oh, to the people, that's what's up. Oh, wait.
Money.
Hey, welcome to Mother Box Madness, ladies and gentlemen. It is now officially a party. It's definitely happening. Wow, now we can start fresh. Thank you. Oh,
The swagger is so up to 100 right now. It's like 100 is like gone off the stage.
oh, as you say that, bro. As you say that. Oh, man. God life is life.
Money.
I'm so excited now. I wonder who. Oh, dang. This is Gold God, man. This is Gold God. Now, who is his mystery teammates? People know the music. Sourcewall is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, dang, this is going to be a good match. Oh. Oh, that intro clip was longer than I thought. It would look like.
That's one of my favorite intros someone's created for me. That's pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa. My man.
I had to use it as a Gob Life video, so.
Oh, dude. I'll try and top it for season 2 of that show.
Oh.
Oh, man. How you doing, brother?
Just a little bit of lacking a little bit of energy because it's Ramadan and it takes a lot of energy out of you, so there's about 2 weeks left, so we'll get through it.
Yeah. Ramadan Kareem, man. Or do you say that after? I forget.
I can't remember. So I get mixed up.
It's all good. Many blessings, man. Happy Ramadan. I've been wanting to get you on my show for a long time, man. You're a star, you're a celebrity. It's pretty hard to get your schedule. I had to talk to your agent and your manager. Ooh, it took a while.
You had to speak to Randall.
Yeah.
Randall Towers as my agent. No, I mean, I had you on my channel a couple of times. We did the reaction. Last time was when we did the reaction to the Snyder Cut trailer.
Oh, DC Fandom?
Yeah.
Wow, that was a minute ago.
Yeah, so it's my first time on the corner, or it's Kojay's corner.
Hey, you're in my ring. This is my ring corner, So you know what's up. Yeah, I remember that. That was a great experience. I love going to your channel for that. And yeah, we did apologize for the leak thing. I have to apologize because a funny thing about leaked, I was told through when I worked that leaks were strategic for promoting a film. Then I found out later, through the movement from, I think it was Junkie. Was it Junkie who said leaks are 99% sabotage driven or something like that? Someone said something like that, and I was thinking back to who told me why it's strategic. And I remember back in the day, I was like, oh, only producers told me it's strategic. So I'm thinking it's strategy for producers, but not necessarily to support the movie or a movie, or to support a different movie in spite of another movie. So it's like this
I never,
dodgy business with the
I never
Hollywood.
gave
Man.
it much thought. Why would the trailer leaked, and then the movie leaked. When on HBO Max under Tom and Jerry. I don't know. It could easily be. I mean, the more you see, Warner Brothers messing up, messing up, and then also having little digs here and there. It's like, I don't know. Is it that they hate us? Is it that they don't care, or is it something a bit more than that? Like if you listen to Mr. West Ashley's recent episodes, is it are they are they feeding off our kind of free promotion? We're causing that kind of energy on social media. We're causing that discussion, and is that what they want? I don't know.
I don't know either, bro. It definitely, from the looks of it, does seem sabotagey to me now. So I don't know. So, man, have you always? Okay, let's go back. When did you get into like comics and film? When has always been like a part of your life?
Well, it was always one of my older brothers who was the more comic book fan. So he used to buy the comics. He used to buy Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse, Valiant.
Yeah.
So he was really into that. So I would kind of pick, some comics that looked interesting, and I would read them. We would read them together and stuff. So yeah, it was a good time. This was back in the 90s or so.
Oh, really? Would you
Yeah.
say what, early, mid, or late?
I guess it would be the early to mid.
Okay. That's kind of like around the time I started really getting into comics too, because my older brothers were my cousins. They took me to a comic store, because before I always got hand-me-downs from parents who bought these packs like random. And that's when I started getting to Spawn, Conan from Marvel, G.I. Joe from Marvel. I was a big Marvel kid, but not the Marvel line, just G.I. Joe and Conan stuff. That wasn't really...
the first kind of the first kind of comic I really got into was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And, you had, Eric Larson illustrations, and then it was the complete Spider-Man comic books that have collected the 4 monthly stories in one. And then so what you're reading Spider-Man with Eric Larson art, and then it switches to Todd McFarlane art in the next kind of
yeah,
story.
I remember those.
And it's like such a contrast, but you're getting like it's Marvel, it's Spider-Man, it's all these different characters. And,
yeah, I got into Spider-Man because I did read some Daredevil, and he had a lot of crossovers with Spider-Man. Like, they were tight.
Yeah. And I think it was like 2014. I actually attended my first Comic-Con here in Scotland,
Yeah?
And Eric Larson was there, and I was like, yo, you're Spider-Man, the best. And I was like, he was very happy to hear that. And so it was just cool to meet him in person. And but yeah, and because you also did Savage Dragon.
Oh yeah,
is that his character?
Yeah, that was from Image.
Yeah. And so yeah, I mean, I wasn't really a hardcore comic book reader, so I didn't read any Justice League comics back then. I didn't read any Avengers comics back then. So it's only maybe in the early 2010s I started to get back into comics, because like when I went off to college, I kind of lost interest in comics. Probably started maybe a bit more video games. Started getting into that a bit more. Like in time for the PlayStation 3, I remember. And I think it took me around about until Man of Steel came out. I think I started to get back more into comics.
Oh wow! So you had like a gap.
Mm.
Oh, that's really cool. So what about Man of Steel that captivated you to get back into comics?
because I think everyone says, Superman's a little bit boring and it's a little bit, he's overpowered and so on.
Yeah, I used to say that too.
Yeah. And then, but then again, I hadn't read the comics, and then you saw, I remember, Death of Superman, and that was epic and that was great. I remember my brother, I think he had the black sleeve one, comic edition. But anyway, with Man of Steel, I think by that time I knew who Zack Snyder was, right? Because I think Watchmen, I remember seeing Watchmen, and it was like, all right, this is the guy who's done 300. This is the guy who's done Dawn of the Dead remake. All right, let me check out Watchmen, because I remember the comic, but I hadn't read it. And then just before the film came out, I thought, let me read this, because I remember the characters and the kind of the imagery of the comic book. So I was like, wow, this comic's amazing. It's a kind of collection, a graphic novel. And then when I watched Zack Snyder's Watchmen, I was like, wow, he actually brought it to life on screen and like cinematically. And I know there are little changes here and there, but I enjoyed it. And then by the time Man of Steel came out, it was just about to be released, and I was like, all right, so is Zack Snyder directing? Christopher Nolan, with the Batman trilogy behind him, he's producing. And then I don't really remember the promotional campaign that much for it. All I knew was, okay, so Zack Snyder is Chris Nolan, and it might be starting the DC cinematic universe, right? So let me go and check it out. And I checked out, and it was bloody amazing. It was so good. I couldn't believe it. Blew my mind. It's like very rare I see a film where it's like, especially the Smallville fight scene. I'm like, I'm sitting there like this, and I'm like, I had to set up like this is amazing. I was like, what's going on here? And just like, the Krypton, and Russell Crowe, and how the film starts is great, and Michael Shannon's such a great Zod. I know people say it's a better sci-fi film than it is a Superman film. I'm like, well, I would say we needed this kind of treatment for Superman in a modern day kind of film. So sure, like, yeah, it's a great sci-fi action film, and it happens to be a Superman film, a Superman origin film. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yo, I feel you on that. I got into Superman in like 2009, a little bit late. I was a Superman hater. Then when I was reading his comics, I was like, wait, he's not just saving cats in the street. He's not just stopping burglars. He's actually getting. He almost had a DBZ element of his enemies, because I would read like Godfall and For Tomorrow, where there's more of that sci-fi element. Because I feel he is part of sci-fi. Like, I think that's a cool thing about Superman. He has like crime stories, stopping Lex Luthor, the sci-fi element, because he goes to different planets and stuff. And I feel his movies have always been kind of just stuck on Earth, stopping Lex Luthor, and then bringing in the sci-fi element was great, because that movie took me by surprise. It was like beginning to end, like breathtaking. Like it hit all the notes, and even the pacing, because you watch kung fu movies, right? So even in Smallville fight, there's like there's a good pace to everything. It's like just took my heart away. And I'm gonna what?
But it was also like, the character, how you felt relatable, and that was like the biggest kind of thing that I kind of really got into, was like, hey, this guy's kind of trying to find himself. You can finally understand what it would be like for him growing up, and then trying to find his roots. So it's kind of very relatable, and it's very very lot of kind of a lot of depth to the film. So it's like I didn't understand, and then when I finished the film, I went home and I saw the reactions to it. I was like, why? What's with this kind of negative reaction? It was kind of 50-50 split. Some people loved it, some people didn't like it. But then obviously that's when Film Gob kind of took form in my mind. I was like, why is this? why is this happening? Let me check it out. Let me check these Rotten Tomatoes websites. Let me check out these YouTube channels. Let me check some podcasts. And so, yeah, that was kind of rough. I mean, that was, what, 2012, 2013?
2013.
And I was also seeing, a lot of the Marvel films at the time, and I was kind of getting bored of them. And I was like, but these films are getting praised while DC is getting trashed. And then, so around about 2015, I started my YouTube channel.
Wow. So Man of Steel gave birth to Film Gob.
That's right.
Hey, I love it.
Zack Snyder for that.
Yeah, man. That means Film Gob, ladies and gentlemen, is canon to DCEU, the legit one. yOUR Snyder Verse, brother. Just chopping down to the comments since we're new at this. I'm a little slow. We got shout out to Macroman TV. Someone's confused, wonders what kind of Jody's Corner this is. No, this is in the ring. We're in the pro wrestling ring, in my ring. Welcome. Film Gob is back. Were you gone?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I was supposed to take a break last month, but just like I guess I picked the wrong time to take a break because there's so much news that came out and so much kind of some Twitter campaigns and some controversies, and I was like, well, let me tweet one. Let me go back in Twitter and retweet that. Let me say something here. And before we know it, it's like the end of April, and I was like, oh, I didn't take a break. I was like, maybe let's start today. After today, I think I might take some time away from social media.
Yeah, it's actually kind of good. I mean, I tried the same thing. It lasted for a week. It was a good week.
Twitter's addictive.
It kind of is. And I noticed it's too crazy for me when I'm like, all right, I'm in the app, then I close it. Then I'm like, oh, I need to check something. Then I open the app again. When I was trying to go to Google instead, I was like, no.
So sometimes you can actually find, like, it can be like a Google as well. You just use a search bar and you find out things that you're thinking about or searching for. Whether it's how to use something, if there's any complaints about something, or other people talking about it, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm in a few groups, DMs, and so sometimes want to check out what are people saying in there.
Yeah,
and then what so much happened in the past 30 days about Warner Brothers. They upload the trailer, the Justice League trailer.
Oh my gosh, that trailer weirds me out, man. You saw the whole thing of it?
No. What with the Justice League 4K trailer?
Justice League 4K.
I mean, I clicked on it, so I guess I engaged with it, but I just disliked it and then quit.
No, I was like, okay, I had to see the whole thing because I was like, what? I was on my work computer, so it wasn't my sacred abode here at my back cave. So, it was like the same trailer they did before, but they switched the order for it. The trailer that came out before Justice League was going to debut, when there's more of that red sky crap. They added a scene from Snyder Cut in it where Bruce is saying, I think there's something darker that was never used before. And then they use, is that yes? Is that, I'll take it as a yes, Superman to Lois, which is weird because I seen that in their trailer for Justice League before and they didn't use it, but now they added a little Snyder Cut thing, and I'm wondering what the hell are they trying to do? And
like I said earlier, I think they're just trying to cause that kind of discussion and anger and
clickbait.
Yeah, I think that's there's no way. I think they've already made the decision if they want to continue with if they want to restore the Snyder Verse. I think that decision's been made. I don't know if it's a yes or no, but I think they've done it.
What tells you that? What's the midichlorians telling you that you think it's?
Would they have let Zack Snyder film a scene, the epilogue?
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't want it to continue in some way? You know, so I mean, they said no to the Green Lantern scene, but to leave the film open-ended and, you know, teasing what's to come, especially with the nightmare scene, I think if they gave him the opportunity to do that, then I'm sure that they also would like, they're keeping their mind open. And no amount of dislikes on a YouTube trailer for Justice League is going to, you know, upset them, I don't think. I know some people are saying, oh, that's harassment. It's harassment to downvote a trailer. Like,
I'm personally pissed off with harassment because I don't know if you watch Japanese wrestling, but Hana Kimura, like 2 or 3 days after Snyder Cut was announced, she took her life due to cyberbullying harassment. That was like,
oh yeah, I heard
broke
about
me,
that.
man. That's harassment. That's wrong. And I think people are throwing loose terms around just because they don't like the fact that we're fighting for something that means something to us against like an evil corporation like Umbrella or something, you know, in Resident Evil. I feel like we're in that kind of situation where there's this horror situation we're trying to get out of. But dang, man.
Yeah.
I have that same feeling too, man. I feel like because if they can't, I have a weird feeling that they canceled New Gods because they were going to go in a different direction. Like Darkseid wasn't going to look like Darkseid. Maybe he was going to look like the guy on Lucifer, just a dude in a suit who transforms into Darkseid for a second, like they did on the Smallville show or something. And then they're like, oh, well, Darkseid's out, so we can't hold off teasing, because I feel like they just stretch storylines. I forgot who was talking to, but they had a theory that like the Snyder Cut was shelved just so that they could take pieces out of it and make it in the show. You know, like Superman, Lois having a baby. Oh, let's make Lois and Superman where they have a kid. Yeah, let's do 6 seasons of that. Ching ching. Instead of like putting a movie.
The whole New Gods, when that happened, I was like, I mean, some.
What do you mean when it happened? When it was greenlit or canceled?
When New Gods was cancelled.
Okay.
It was like, I thought, what a waste of time. All these, how many years was it? Was it a year or 2 years?
That was announced?
When it was announced, yeah. And it was like, you know, selfies and tweets. And
oh yeah, Darkseid is. And
now Ava's doing a CW show.
Oh, that sounds like a good place for her.
Yeah, so
she'll be
I'm nothing against her, but then again, hey, Tom King's he's a war criminal. Like, I couldn't believe it. Someone said he's a war criminal. I was like, what? And it turns out he was in Iraq as military.
Okay.
So I don't want to get political, but you know, that's like, it's not a good look.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, we have a question for you. Film Gob, what was your favorite moment in Zack Snyder's Justice League? Oh, all right, let's go there.
First, I thought the opening was amazing. The way his kind of voice travels across the city, and then it goes through across the ocean, and the music, and it's just so good. There's so many scenes, man. It's hard to pick one, but
maybe not one. Pick a few, maybe a faction of scenes.
The Flash and Iris West scene. Oh my god, so good. The music.
At first, the music caught me off guard, but when I saw what was happening, it was literally a beautiful love interest falling down, and he's coming to pick her up so she didn't fall down. But as a superhero movie, and then when I saw it like that, it was like really beautiful, man. Sorry, the intro.
Song to Siren, something like that.
Yeah.
So that was a great scene. The Flash, you know, turning back time and using the Speed Force. I thought that was great. So it's too many. It's been a while since I've watched it again, but
yeah,
you know, I've watched it about 3 times.
Oh,
I'm behind. I know I'm behind other people.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I'm a little way too much. I'm in like in the 20s right now, but yeah, I have no life. So oh man, it's so good. It's it's so stress relieving every time I watch it, because man, 4 years are so stressful. I hated those 4 years. As much as we had a lot of camaraderie and stuff, there's always like, I don't know, for me, going to bed, waking up in the morning, there's a stress like, why isn't this out? Why are we in this position? What's going on? Why did we derail? Oh my gosh, everything was going to be so good.
Yeah, every day you'd wake up and it's like, let's check the Snyder Cut news. Let's see what's happening. Well, what's this person saying? Oh, someone liked a post. Oh, what does that mean?
I know, right? Is this a clue? Even when people would come to my channel, when I was like, no one knew who the hell I was. Some people come with animosity and technical animosity. I remember some people were like, it's all about the shareholders. They make 27% of their profits, and they need to please them. And And I was like, ooh, new information. Is that true? I would battle them, but then I would look into it. I was like, here's more clues. Like everything was a clue to like, how close can we get this happening? What can we do? When did you start really fighting for the Snyder Cut, and what prompted that?
Well, I mean, we were already in there fighting for Batman v Superman. I was already there. So that was, from the first, when the first trailer came out for Batman v Superman, to the release, to so I was fighting for that, and then obviously with what happened post Batman v Superman and all the kind of that kind of overreaction from the critics, and so that led into the Justice League summer, that very first trailer that came out at Comic-Con, and it was like, oh, this looks great. It doesn't look that much of a change to what Zack Snyder would do. So I was excited, but then when all that time, all that kind of, all the rumors, all the hate, and then you hear Zack Snyder had to step down, and it's like that was like a real punch to the gut when I heard that, especially why he stepped down and all that stuff. I didn't make a video at all for that whole week or so, a week or two, and it was like, but then you thought, well, maybe he is. I fell for it. Okay, I fell for Warner Brothers lies.
No, a lot of us did too. Don't feel bad.
Joss Whedon's coming in. He's going to stick to Zack Snyder's vision. The blah blah blah. Then the trailer came out. It was like, this doesn't look. It looks very different to what we saw a year before. Then Danny Elfman is the new composer. Junkie XL's been removed. I was like, what? I still tried to see the positive of it, right? And then you saw the film, and I was like, can I swear on this?
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this. Because I remember watching the film, and then I came out, and I was like, I tried to convince myself. I was like, was it that bad? No, I think it was okay. But then as I was going home, I was just thinking about it. I was like, this is terrible. That was shit. And so I did my live stream. I did my review. And then I saw, Fiona's tweets. Everyone says, we saw Fiona's tweeting about, there's a cut out there. We need to fight for it. And that was the beginning of fighting for the Snyder Cut. But I think, I don't know, a lot of people gradually I've seen come into the Snyder Cut movement. And, I think it's time for, I'm kind of jumping ahead, but
yeah, it's fine.
I think it's time for kind of a new kind of group of people to kind of take over the Restore the Snyder Verse. I know there's Itsan17, who's like a Twitter trending machine. This guy just gets insane traction to his tweets.
I just see him as the Witcher. When I saw the Witcher, I was like, oh, it's Itsan.
Yeah, so he's cool. So we've got that covered. That's his thing. He does that right. He does it great. And then there's whoever, all these YouTubers, like whether it's Poindexter Lounge or it's whoever wants to take over and lead the movement, sure, cool. You guys go ahead. We just need I think we need kind of new faces in the movement. I know there's Uchi Waneri, who did the charity stream with Zack.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a kind of decent kind of following as well, and he's in touch with Zack as well. So, yeah, it's just kind of I would say my time when it comes to like DC news and Snyder Verse news. I'm like, it's not that I'm not interested. It's just that I'm kind of got there's other things I need to do. Whether it's with my channel or whether it's away from YouTube, there's just other things I need to.
Yeah,
There's nothing challenging about spamming a hashtag. It's like, sure, restore the Snyderverse, but I need something more. So I'll be like a fan, just kind of sitting in the background, just seeing everything play out. But I
feel you on that.
I need something more challenging.
No, I feel you on that because the way I saw how to help the movement was to help hype, because I feel like I wanted more and more people. Like in my imagination, you've been to Comic-Con, right? You see like the crowds of people. I had this image in my mind, and I said when I was first on Go Deep, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if there's like a bunch of us just shouting, release the Snyder Cut? So in my mind, it was like that image of thousands of people just going, we want the Snyder Cut, whoosh, like a roar, like the end of a good Godzilla movie. I would think like that's what I think would really make a big impact. So when I jumped into the movement, I just want to hype people up. And I agree with you, man. I think we need more. We don't need one go-to. I want hundreds of people, hundreds of voices, just to keep going up. We need more and more people. That's fine, because I feel like it's like if I was to turn this into a Final Fantasy video game, I feel like getting the Snyder Cut out was like disc 2. And then we won the battle. And then there's disc 3 where it's like, okay, the kingdom's being laid. The politicians are trying to lay order, get a system going on. And we're like the retired veterans just hanging around, just doing our thing, helping out on the side. And I'm okay with that. As long as we get more people, because, you got stuff to do. I got my video games and videos to do. But I think it's cool. Like, I think I can casually, or anyone could casually, who's been doing so much fighting before, like the veterans, like we could just casually, like I wear this where I go sometimes in places and people ask me and they're like, hey, I'll tell you about it. We just casually put it out there. Or I'll bring a sign to a pro wrestling show if I do that again. But I think it's time for more people to go in and fight for this movement. I agree with you 100%, man.
I think we are getting a lot of more people coming in to the movement, but I don't know. I don't know if they're kind of they just want to be on Twitter, if they just want to be on social media, or do they want to create podcasts? Do they want to create YouTube channels? So maybe it's just takes time, or maybe it was just like a one-off. I know it took like 3 years or so, but maybe it was like a very special time. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. Dang.
How many people did we meet? Like, remember when the Snyder Cut got announced? Like, how many live streams I know I went on loads of different channels and meeting people for the first time. It's mainly because of StreamYard, because it was so easy to kind of jump on, other people's channels. And it was like, that's when I met Fatal J pretty much for the first time, and a whole lot of other people. Poindexter.
Yeah, I got to know Fatal J through you, I think, from your show and watching it.
So it was crazy time that day.
It was huge, man. It was like, oh, this is the runs
whole week. That whole week was just, I was we were all on a buzz.
Oh man,
on a high
for the announcement, right? Oh
yeah.
Dude, I was on a triple high because my birthday was on the 17th, and I wished that the Snyder Cut would come out. And then it was like on the 20th it was announced. I was like, ah! So I was on a super high. But it went down with me with Hana Kimura, then I had to pick up later. But man, so during to go a little bit back, while fighting for the movement, fighting for it. It was hard, man. There were like so many people saying, "Get over it. It doesn't exist. They're not gonna do it."
Yeah.
You
I
know,
never really
so much doubt.
I never paid attention to those people. Like, I was like, well, I did see them, and I would just kind of like tweet at them, "Shut up, whatever. You don't know what you're talking about." But or just leave a GIF, like a funny GIF or a funny image, like reply to them. But, yeah, I didn't really kind of take to heart what they were saying. Like, I didn't let that kind of get inside my head at all, because I remember being on a podcast with a group of guys from here in Scotland as well, and they asked, one was a DC fan, one was a Marvel fan, and they asked me, when do you think the Snyder Cuts? Do you think it's going to come out? I was like, yeah, within 2-3 years. I said it.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, I said it.
All right.
And, I think might have been a year and a half before it actually came out. I said it might take like 2, 3, 4 years, whatever, but I think we'll get it soon. It's because we're in the age of like social media and technology. There's no way they're going to just like not listen to us. I think that something's going to happen. And one of the guys said, "Oh no, it's going to take 20 years." I was like, "No, are you serious? 20 years?" So yeah, and so it was just like we were in our just kind of our bubble, but we were working so hard. We were, a lot of. I was just doing YouTube channel. I was just doing YouTube videos. But then you had people like yourself going out to Comic-Con and campaigning and all that kind of stuff, handing out with leaflets or whatever, and you're printing T-shirts. So that was like the real hard work. But we were all in our little kind of bubble, but we were still kind of working hard, branching out, and that's what, like I say, we woke up every day. What's the Snyder Cut news? Check out this video. Check out that video. Check out this podcast. And that's it was all about being focused, and I think everyone did a good job.
Yeah, man. Oh, I just want to swing for the fences and all that, and hit a home run. Oh, 80s Wolf in the house. There's some nice comment. I dare someone to name a better duo than Kojay and Shayker. Mario and Luigi, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. The Steiner brothers. Nah, they got nothing.
more like Legion. We're more like Legion of Doom, I'd say.
I like that. Hell yeah. Or I don't know if you watch AEW, but Lucha Brothers. Yeah.
Oh man, they're amazing. I love them.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh,
I've not seen them in a while, but I think the first kind of few shows that they did with AEW, I was like, man, these guys are so entertaining. They're amazing.
Oh, you should check out Laredo Kid. He's cool too. But man, there's so much stuff popping in pro wrestling. Now you're a pro wrestling fan too, yeah? Not to switch gear to that?
I like
or enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up, obviously we all remember, the Hulk Hogan's, the Ultimate Warriors, Undertakers, all that, right? And then again, similar to comic books, I kind of moved away from it, and I missed the Attitude Era, so I kind of annoyed about that. But I think I started watching WWE again round about CM Punk, CM Punk era, and I think his match with John Cena in Chicago was amazing. It was like,
that was great.
To be in your hometown and winning the belt is so good. And the storyline was so funny, like him having like his contracts running out, and then Vince McMahon comes in. But
then he leaves with it. I was like, So next day, the Raw broke my heart, man, because they had like a little tiny mini tournament, and Rey Mysterio won it, and then he had to defend it that night, and he lost it. I was like, Rey Mysterio was champion for an hour and a half.
But I don't like. There was a period then after that where I would watch all the pay-per-views, all the Raws, and all the SmackDowns. But I think it's the PG era, and it's just gotten boring. It's just gotten stale.
Yeah, man.
And recently, I tune in for the pay-per-views,
Hmm?
But I've been more impressed with, maybe a few AEW's shows. I've watched a couple of Wrestle Kingdoms, which are pretty good. Like if you want kind of wrestling,
Yeah.
strip away the
Mm.
kind of production and the lights and the
Pretty much all the theatrics that are
Yeah.
extra is gone there.
I love how the Japanese are kind of sitting and just clapping.
Yeah.
But then as the match goes on, especially the kind of the main event, the crowd just gets more and more hyped. And when I saw, I think it was Okada versus Omega,
Uh-huh.
and the match finishes with a spinning tombstone. I
Yeah.
was like, "Are you kidding me?" It's like, and so good.
Oh, that's so great.
So I don't think I watched. But did it happen this year? Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, it was a two-parter.
I need to catch up with that.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Another thing I like about that culture is because they have like a golf clap type of audience usually, but every now and then people lose it and they go crazy, and I like when like Shinsuke Nakamura, there'll be like a girl in the audience, she's like Shinsuke. So when I go to pro wrestling shows and I see like Shinsuke or Asuka, I yell at them like that. I'm like Asuka, and then once at a house show, like Shinsuke looked around like, who is that? I got him, so it was great. Oh man. Let's take a break to the comments. Marco Man TV, funny story. When the Snyder Cut was announced on HBO Max, I was working on my version of Justice League versus Superman as my senior project when someone on Twitter sent me the news. Oh, nice. Shout out to my boy Damien. Good day, gentlemen, and to chat. My favorite wrestlers are Ultimate Warrior, The Rock, Ryback, and AJ Lee. Ooh,
Ryback?
AJ Lee. Ryback! I gotta bring you on the show and explain that. That's a show right there. Just kidding.
I watch, what's his name? Do you watch any YouTubers when it comes to wrestling?
Yeah, on and off.
The only one I watch is JD from NY.
Okay.
I've been watching him for a few years. He's hilarious. His rants were, I think I found him when he had about 50,000 subscribers, and he's like, his Roman Reigns rants, the best.
I've seen those.
And, but, speaking of Roman Reigns, the guy's amazing. These days, he's so good.
I like Roman Reigns as a wrestler. It's just, he gets justice too much. Like, it's too much of the WWE storyline that he sticks to, kind of like in that John Cena loyalty kind of good worker way. Because when he was at the promo and when he had nothing else to say, like he's on ESPN or something, no, for Fox, he did some promo and he was unscripted. He was amazing. His charisma was great, and I really wish we could see him in like New Japan, see what he could do if he's pushed to the max.
I'd love to see Seth Rollins in Japan.
Ooh, that'd be good.
I guess AJ Styles has been there already, but probably my favorite wrestlers are guys like AJ Styles, Seth Rollins. Just like they have like a wide range of moves that they can come out with, and
So you're like Shawn Michaels type of guys, the guys who are like mid, who could do a range, but also they're not super bulky where they can't even do a Hurricane Rana. Yeah. I saw John Cena do a Hurricane Rana once. It looked like he jumped, grabbed someone's legs, and he power bombed himself, and then the guy jumped over. I was like,
well, Vince McMahon, he loves his big guys.
Yeah, I like him big and strong. That little meme. Vince McMahon is king of memes. He's got some good memes.
But it was sad. It was sad to see Undertaker retire, and during this kind of pandemic and stuff. So it's like,
yeah,
it'd be nice some of these wrestlers, not getting But then again, this WrestleMania was in front of a crowd, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was cool because AEW is doing the crowd thing, and it was cool to see that they do that, and it was nice, especially for the NXT girls, because I'm drawing a blank. Our Australian girl. Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah.
She got
Wasn't a fan of her winning, but you know.
yeah, and I feel that too. I'm like, I think Asuka would have pulled that. But anyways, it's just that Rhea Ripley. I was glad of her accomplishment last year because she was gonna be at WrestleMania, but then the pandemic happened, and then that was like all video. And then that's back when they had just a few wrestlers in the background because they had no noise. Someone going, hey, and it was like quiet in the ring. And it was just kind of awkward until they got that screen thing with the app. But now it's like she got to experience that. So I was happy for her with that. Not the outcome. How come Asuka always loses at WrestleManias? The hell?
I mean, also, you know, you've got football matches, like soccer matches are starting to kind of bring in crowds again.
Oh,
so
yeah, I call it football too.
Yes, I guess that's like I've kind of got bored of sports in the past maybe 8 years, 6 years, and but because of the pandemic, you kind of miss it. You miss that kind of that atmosphere, that kind of action. So, hopefully this summer we've got Euro 2020 was supposed to happen last year, so it's going to be played this summer. And Scotland versus England. Scotland and England are in the same group, so that's going to be like big. That's a big match, and the crowds will be there, so that'll be good. But yeah, let's talk about Blackpink because
yes,
you know I know you're a big fan of Blackpink, and
hell yeah.
Again, because of the pandemic, we never saw a concert. It was supposed to be YouTube live with a crowd, but unfortunately there was no crowd. But still, they put on a pretty awesome live performance.
Yeah, it was awesome because you know they have all of these comeback competitions where bands compete against each other. I like that. That's cool because then they're really trying to put an effort to outdo each other and win the public votes. Because you know, there's BTS going up against Blackpink, going up against you know, Red Velvet or whoever, and then the fans have to, you know, vote. That's kind of cool that they do that. So it was like one of those shows, but all Blackpink and no competition, just pulling out the best.
I have to say, right, I've tried listening to other K-pop and I can't. I think it's atrocious. It's like there's nothing there that I can't hear a tune. I can't hear any personality. It's just beats and singing and BTS as well. I'm like, I've not heard a good song from them. I don't know.
Oh, you don't like BTS? Really? Oh, I love those guys. They're good. Not a single one.
I've not heard one song.
BTS Army, stay away from Film Gob. I'm protecting him. You have to get to me if you want to get to him. So don't worry, you're protected. You're safe. You could not like BTS. Don't worry.
I'm not scared.
Just Blackpink.
What are BTS fans called? What did they call them?
I thought it was Army.
Army?
Yeah, the BTS Army.
I'm a blink
through. Oh, I'm a blink through and through, bro. See, before I was a blink, I was a mine. There's a group called Nine Muses I was a fan of. But also I'm old school. I got into K-pop back in 2010. And I switched to Blackpink because I never really gave them a listen. I've only heard Playing with Fire because Nine Muses, they retired. So it's like, I have no one to simp for, pretty much. And then when I was listening to Blackpink, I was like, oh my God, this is great. This is great. And then I found out that their producer who makes their stuff did the same thing with the group called 21. And that was my gateway drug into K-pop back in 2010. But they broke up because of conflicts of interest, I believe. Stories change over the years. But I love their music. And then I see that got reborn into Blackpink only except that Blackpink, they have more of a sisterhood. They're more in a team. They kick ass, dude. Oh man, it's next level. I love I'm a blink, dude.
Through and through. So I like how the producer, he's got like a lot of he was a rapper, so he's got that kind of 90s rap influences, and he brings that over to Blackpink.
Yes,
and you hear little lyrics or beats or whatever.
Oh yeah, man.
Man, that like. What was it? I think it was about a year ago. It was just before their album came out. Oh no, was it their album? Oh no, I think it was I remember seeing their name around Twitter, but I was like, I don't know who that is. And then one day I was like, they were trending on Twitter, and I was like, let me check them out. Who is this Blackpink, right? And I think it was How You Like That.
Hey.
So I think the single had just came out, and I watched it, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Then I watched it again. Then I watched it again. Then I watched it again. So yeah, they've got their music video, and then I started going back and I was like, how did I miss these girls for how did I miss this music for the past 2 years or so?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started listening to all their stuff, and I've got playlists. I've got their albums.
Hey.
Yeah, so it's like I think it's if someone like Michael Jackson, right? If Michael Jackson was still with us, he'd be like, they're coming on tour with me. They're that good. I would say so. That would be some tour, Michael Jackson and Blackpink.
Oh yeah. Oh man. By the way, just quick, we're just gonna throw out some love to India. I know they're having a hard time with the pandemic right now. And many blessings and prayers.
Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere. Well, here in the West, we don't hear that much about what's going on, in Asia and stuff that often. But suddenly, it's like there's a rise in COVID over there.
Yeah. Do you have family over there in that region?
Pakistan.
You're Pakistan, yeah. But you don't have family. Your family's only in Pakistan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I have a lot of family in Sri Lanka, then they're all kind of spread out in other countries too, some of them. But how's Pakistan doing? Or do you know? Or
I've not been there since 2008, so it's been quite a while. And even when I went there, my grandparents, unfortunately they've passed away, so it's like,
I'm sorry.
I know I've got I've cousins there, aunties there, but man, I still remember the very first time I went to Pakistan. I was really young, and
wait, how old are you?
I can't remember what age I was. I must have been.
First time I went to Sri Lanka, I was 10.
I think I was about 8 years old, and I was like, "Who are these people? What the hell?" They all and it's because they were meeting me for the first time, and I was meeting them, and they were hugging me and kissing me, and I was like, "What? Who are these people?" but then, once you realize, all right, it's my grandparents and my aunties and my cousins, and as a group of cousins that we used to play together. Kite flying, man. Kite flying was a big thing over there.
Yeah.
My cousin Awais, he would fight other kites. You know how to fight other kites.
I didn't know that existed. They have kite wars.
Yeah, it's like you're flying a kite, and you're the kids on the other roof, on the next door neighbors. So we're on top of the roof, right? So we're they challenge each other, right? So you're flying the kite, and then you wrap your string around their string, and you start kind of moving it, and then it cuts. Or no, I guess so. One of them is going to cut. So we find out who. And when the kite when the string cuts, the kite's kind of flying across the kind of neighborhood, and then they run after the. That's what my cousin used to. They used to run after the kite. So and then he would go to his place, and he's got a collection of kites.
Dang,
that was one of the best memory over there.
Dude, that's so cool. Kite wars, full contact kite wars, man. Because then when it goes down, you have to run to get it.
Yeah.
So you could turn it into a capture the flag game right away.
Nah, similar. So
wow.
They didn't have kind of video games over there. So it's like kites.
Yeah, in Sri Lanka, not many video games or anything. Everything is like cricket. So I got to learn how to play cricket. So it's like, boom, 6 runs. It's pretty cool.
It was so outside my grandparents' home, it was kind of like a large kind of close, and in the middle was like a kind of a cricket pitch field, but it wasn't any grass. It was just kind of dirt. And there was a mosque down the road, right, just kind of in view of the kind of close. And the students from there would come in and play cricket, football, just whatever. But yeah, it would be cricket and football down there.
Wow.
So, man, those were the days, but because you didn't have any worries and you just kind of go out there and chill, and it was good times.
So would it be cheating if your kite had like a thumbtack next to it and you'd like kind of cut some other kite or something?
No, I don't think that's. I don't know.
It
was my cousin who used to fly the kite, so I don't think we did any. I think it was just basic,
Yeah.
The string, use your kind of movements, and then it cuts and you run after it.
Dang, that sounds cool. Wow.
And man, the foods, obviously the food is amazing.
Oh, the food is so good.
But then it's so hot. It's so hot outside, so it's like you don't really want to eat that much, even though the food's really amazing.
Well, that's why spice is good. The spice speeds up your metabolism on the inside and cools the body, so then you can kind of from the inside or turn internally. So it's pretty cool. I eat spicy food during the hot seasons and hot countries.
Did you ever go kind of back home? And
yeah, I try to go back to Sri Lanka every 4 years if I can. It's not always possible, but I tried. Last time was great. Got to meet Ramesh, and you saw my orphanage video, right? Yeah. So we did that. I got to take her and do the charity to the orphanage. Just all me this time, not my family, where I got to hide behind. You all do the work and I just show up. So yeah, I'm trying to go back because I'm making my own film and I have some scenes set in Sri Lanka. So it'd be cool to see I have some shots I want to capture of the rice fields, and I found this 2,000-year-old temple that I could shoot near, not on, of course. So I'm excited to do stuff like that. So yeah, I go back. Because taking it back to Blackpink, going to Sri Lanka, I get to stop in South Korea. It's so cool, man.
You've been there before?
Yeah, but this time I went through a new airport called Incheon, and the airport in Incheon is half airport. Okay, I'm gonna sound like South Park right here with half man, half bear, half pig. Man, bear, pig, but it's like half airport, half hotel. Like there's a small hotel, maybe it's just exclusive to us, and half shopping mall. Right. So locals are invited to go there too for a little bit. And when I was there getting off the airplane, they had this big screen all around, like digital check-ins with your. I was like, this is nice. And on the promos, they're like, look at Korea, Blackpink, and then Korea, and Blackpink. I was like, it's like I'm in Blackpink country. It was so cool.
Ever since like I kind of.
And I got some albums in the record stores.
But when I got into Blackpink, I also kind of came across the reaction channels that you get all these people reacting to their music. I was like, and I kind of just sit and watch them as well. I love the kind of community as well around Blackpink and the fans. So,
yeah, the Blinks are great.
Have you watched the documentary on Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh,
I know people's like I had like friends on Facebook, and my Facebook friends are mainly kind of punks and metalheads and
a lot of people I know are into dance and hip hop and some metal.
Yeah, so it's like they're like I saw the documentary because their kids are probably watching Blackpink, and they say, "Oh, I saw the documentary," and it's like, just kind of an attitude of they come across as very manipulated, and they come across as just manufactured. And I'm like, well, obviously it's a pop band, like that's kind of I mean, it's just funny that you've got these kind of punks who are kind of getting a little bitchy about a K-pop's band success. Like, I don't understand that. It's pop music, and obviously these girls, they're training like day in, day out, weeks on end. That's what they wanted. That's their career, and they're successful now. So it's like,
Yeah, and Blackpink is legit because they kind of they were the first one of the first to success like as a big band. There's been other bands before that had artists from who are non-Korean, and but they're the first successful band to have a non-Korean on it because they have a girl who's Thai, but also they got Rose. She's actually more Australian,
Yeah.
you know, but her heritage is. But you know, you got that you know non-Koreans are now performing. There's even in training right now. There's two bands where they have two desis on K-pop groups, but you know you don't listen to other ones, so don't worry about that. But
I'll
all
check
you need
it
is
out, but
Blackpink.
like, I'll check them out, but I've not heard. I go through different, like a playlist of K-pop, and I was like, this is horrible. Like, there's no tunes, there's no music, there's no personality, there's nothing.
Oh,
And there's
really?
like 6 and 7 of them. Like, why do you need 6 and 7 members?
Oh, do you like R&B and hip hop too?
I love hip hop.
You might like Jay Park. It's just one dude. He's a
Alright.
solo act. He's pretty cool. Because there's this Korean dance studio I like. Because I was a dance major, and before I got hurt, I was trying to do it professionally. So I got a taste of how hard that industry is, and it kind of feels like film. You got a producer, a director trying to set up the show, but the talent still has to bring, you know, the money, the skill. So I like that K-pop really embraces the performance. There's a lot of work for dancers, and there's a dance studio out there that's. I hope to go to Korea and South Korea and take classes there, and I'd be like, yay, because they've actually choreographed for a lot of stuff with other groups. They haven't done anything with Blackpink yet, but just the quality of dancing is great. The performance, oh, it's amazing. It's almost like Bollywood, you know, their production, you know, their item numbers.
If I was like, if I was much younger, I'd be taking. If I was like a teenager and Blackpink comes out, I'd be like, I want the dance lessons. I want to be dancing to these beats. So good, you know. So I was like, oh well.
No, you could dance. If we ever meet, I'll give you free dance classes, man. I'm a good dance teacher. I can find the rhythm in you, man. I can bring it out.
I think I'll break my back doing that.
No, I'll protect you.
Because I've got lower back pain. That's very kind of.
Oh,
I need to be very careful.
I do too. So we'll just do the hands. We'll be really cute. You're like, no.
Me, you, and Gio.
Show.
Me, you, and Gio should.
Oh yeah, you and me and Gio, because he's down with the K-pop too.
We should do it. We should do a live stream reaction to Blackpink songs.
Oh, and what's cool is that for the most part, the industry is pretty cool with that. Like, because a lot of people can do as long as they have the screen really small, they could do a reaction, no problem. We should watch Blackpink video in this stream at one point. Now, do you have a favorite Blackpink song? Let's stick to singles. Like they have a music video or whatever.
It would have to be do 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 do.
Yeah. Oh, because I'm torn with that one and Playing with Fire. Do do do
Fire
do.
is great.
Oh.
Then you've got their B-sides as well. It's like Kick It.
Oh yeah. Oh, Kick It is good. There's the other one I hit you up on Vero that I like too from their new one.
I love Hope Not, which is like really kind of sad and kind of heartbreaking kind of song. But man, it's like
I like Really. You remember? Do you really? I can't really sing though.
even there's like there might be 2 or 3 songs that I don't kind of listen to that much, but even when I do, it's like these are so much better than anything else out there.
Oh hell yeah! Because it's just the energy, the passion, the skill level. Oh, it's all there, man. It's all there.
And their Coachella performance is great.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember I sat up. I waited for that one, man. Oh, I loved it. Man, I remember in April we all did a video of like Release the Snyder Cut, you know, and they did this beautiful collage of everybody. And that was on a Sunday. because I remember that was when there was some bombings in Sri Lanka. That was big news that I got wind of after I made my video. But before that Thursday, I got to see Blackpink live in concert. I was so lucky. I had no homies to go with me, so I went by myself. And I had the greatest time. I was crying. I was cheering. I had my light stick. Oh, it was so good. I hope they come your way, man. And I think they will, because they're globally and they will take it. They will not waste any time.
I'm not. I'll tell you what. I had like I only stay in when it comes to concerts. I only stay in Glasgow. I've never really been out, down south to London or anything.
Yeah.
So I had because of my workplace, the last job I had, I won tickets to see Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't go.
No.
Because it was in London.
Wait, because is that too far?
Yeah. I think it's 8 hours. I mean, I don't like flying. I'm not a kind of flying kind of guy. So by train, it would be like, I don't know, 8 hours or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, I was like, never mind. I'll catch him next time. I thought. I was like,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
there's so many bands that are like, I wish I never got to see them. It's like Soundgarden, never got to see them live. Nirvana, obviously, but so it's sad. But I've got so many concerts I've been to: 9 Inch Nails, Nick Cave.
Yeah. Oh, you like Nick Cave too?
Yeah,
dude, Nick Cave is dope. No, that was someone else. Yeah, Nick Cave's sick, man. I was thinking Michael Hutchence for a second.
There's 2 songs in the Snyder Cut.
Oh, man. So, 80s Wolf has a question for you. What's your favorite band / artist ever? He likes Blue Oyster Cult.
Favorite band? I'd probably say Ministry.
Really?
Ministry from the mid 80s to the early 2000s. I thought their music was very kind of experimental. Sometimes they honed in on something, it was amazing, and then other times they're kind of experimenting and it still sounds great. And then they kind of went a bit speed metal shit in the past, in the mid 2000s onwards. But I'd say Ministry. I can go back. I can just kind of play their music anytime.
What up, Chubby Teddy Monster?
And I was listening. Just that's one thing. I want to get back into music because I used to make music, and then I just kind of got bored, and then that's when I got into FILM GOB and stuff, right? YouTubing. So I'd like to get back to music because I was just listening to Ministry's Al Jurgensen. He was doing an interview from like a few years ago. I just want to like catch up with what are my favorite musicians up to? What are they saying? What are they doing? I've got some ideas of the kind of the music I want to make now compared to what I was doing 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. Funny thing is, like, you remember the MySpace days?
I miss MySpace, honestly. That was the shit. Like, if you follow the band, they would tell you their set list before it went public or their tour list. And I was like, yeah, I'm there. Boom. Yeah. Make plans. Whoosh.
MySpace was cool because the kind of music that I was making, like, I put it up there, little clips and stuff. And like Facebook, like it was almost like Facebook and Twitter kind of in one, but it had it had its own kind of personality at the time.
It introduced me to HTML because you could go in and edit, and everyone would start copying stuff, and so people started learning about web creation. It was pretty cool. It was way more creative back then.
Raya says, I found so many great indie bands through MySpace. Yes. So that's the thing.
Yes, I did too.
I met other bands, whether they were in the UK or in the US, and we kind of found each other, and we were both from a kind of South Asian background, and we were all making punk music as well. So it was like, hey, another South Asian's into punk. That's like, and then we had like it was a scene. It had a name to it. I won't say it here, but we were actually kind of, the scene was actually kind of taking off.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know. I think the kind of main band that everyone kind of saw as the kind of the leaders of the kind of community. I think they had some kind of infighting or something,
Oh,
creative differences, right? So
yeah.
I think they're still around, but they've got like different members here and there. I'm still kind of friends with them on Facebook, but man, that time, 2005 to kind of later on, and that's the thing. They're Riz Ahmed, he was also on MySpace,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember hearing one of his tracks, and I was like, "Hey, can I do a remix of that?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So I did a remix for him. I sent it back to him. He's like, "Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks." And so that we were all starting out at the same time. So Riz Ahmed was there, and he's actually friends with the guys that I was kind of collaborating with as well. So I kind of know him that way. And now he is now on at the Oscars.
Wow. So wait, what instrument do you play, or what would you play?
I was mainly kind of, I have my guitar there, but I've not played it in a while. But I did some guitar. I did mainly kind of sequencing, sampling. Chubby Teddy says, "Did you like Ministry's With Sympathy album more than?" Hey, I like With Sympathy. I know Al Jurgensen says it's a pile of shit, but With Sympathy has its kind of early 80s disco, industrial, whatever you want to call it. It's good fun. But then the mind is a terrible thing to taste. Is like, oh man, so many good. So it's like a really well constructed post-industrial album. It's so good.
Oh, that's nice. You're a big fan of industrial music then, huh? Because you got 9 Inch Nails. Hey, question, because industrial music, I was like more, well, industrial and alternative. I was more like a fan of like Stabbing Westward. I don't know if you remember them. That was my jam. Those, whoa, and Sister Machine Gun, KMFDM. That was like more my jam right there. And I've seen KMFDM twice. I'm in one of their live videos, like in the background, and you see the silhouette of Kojay. And Sister Machine Gun I saw live once, and they would have their own websites. Did you ever go to band websites back in the day and go in the chats? And you have to.
That's one thing I never. It was like so many bands I was into. I would never like go to the website, so I would just kind of. There was a website called cdnow.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I would kind of go on there and order albums from them, and you can hear you would be able to hear samples of each song, and that's like the first time I got into so many. That's when the internet was kind of starting out, and I was like, oh,
right,
I'm going to use the internet to find music. That was like the only thing I was doing.
That's what I did too, and I love MySpace for that. I got to find more death rock, more goth bands than I ever knew existed, and I even became like Skinny Puppy.
Listen, I thought I'd never see them live, but here in Glasgow, there's a small venue, and they actually booked Frontline Assembly one night, and then Skinny Puppy the next night.
Dude, I like Frontline.
So I got to see both of them live in a couple of nights. It was awesome.
Oh dang, that's tight.
So the thing with Skinny Puppy was that they were doing kind of different versions of their songs.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard to kind of tell what song is this. I was like, so the whole I enjoyed seeing them, and there were some songs I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. But there was about half of their set list was a bit experimental, so I was like, ah. But then I would say Frontline Assembly, their set list was very kind of hits, just hits after hits. It was so good.
Oh, that's great. Have you heard of ChemLab or CombiChrist?
Yes.
Yeah.
ChemLab, I think there was like one album I think I heard of them. Man, that takes me back. That's like, there's so many bands who did like one album or a couple of albums that were like pretty good, and then like just kind of disappeared. Whatever. Like, there's a band called Numb, and their tracks called "God Is Dead" and "Eat Me," and those two tracks are like so good. So, I mean, I love kind of industrial music because it's like you've got like the European kind of art industry. I saw Einstürzende Neubauten here in Glasgow. I've still got I had my camera, my phone, one of the early smartphones that had kind of good video quality that you could record. I've still got that clip.
That'd be sick to see, man.
I'm sorry, I'm one of those guys who would go to concerts and record with my phone or a camera.
Don't apologize. Don't apologize. I wanted to do that for Blackpink, but you know, when you hear people, they're like, "No recording." I was like, "Oh, I don't want to be kicked out of Blackpink." So that's why I just recorded the crowd reaction before they came back for the encore. But usually, sometimes, like, oh, I wish I could record at least one song to look back on, you know, because it's rare. It's so good.
I've got a collection of clips from different concerts, like Misfits and 9 Inch Nails.
Now, do you have like the whole concert or just some songs?
Just like little clips of each song.
Okay, because I did that with the Gazette. Do you listen to any like Japanese rock, like the Visual K or anything? Because some of it is borderline industrial. They kind of more new metal to me.
Melt Banana.
I haven't heard that.
They're quite good.
Okay, I'm more like Gazette, Maximum the Hormone, all this crazy stuff.
When it comes to like going to concerts, like I can understand because recently, a few years ago, I was at, I think it was Massive Attack. So, and there were two people in front of me, right? So it was a level above the kind of main floor leading to the stage, but also I was on this kind of upper level. And there were a man and woman in front of me, and they were both recording the entire set together. I was like, why are you both? And I think they were both together. So I was like, why are you doing this? Like, just so I kind of got to that stage where like, I kind of got sick of kind of standing there, because the probably the best one is when I went to see Ministry live, and I was at the front, and I was going crazy. I was like, I've heard a couple of people say, "Were you the guy at the front of the crowd?" I was like, "Yeah, that was me." So I was going crazy. I was fucking the Ministry. I was like, I'm fine. I'm finally getting to see Ministry. So that was the best kind of experience, kind of being at the front, kind of moshing.
So you have moshed before?
Yeah.
Nice. I always try to avoid that
today, but
oh wow, is that where you hurt your back?
No.
I'm just kidding.
It's just in the last maybe 10 years. It's just kind of gotten. Oh, give me a second. I'll be back in a minute.
All right. So Film Gob is going to be checking his parcel. In the meantime, I'm going to treat you all to a little Blackpink. I want to try this. This is going to be experimental time, so hang with me, ladies and gentlemen. Because I want to see how I can do this properly. Oh, yeah, this is what they all do for the shows. And change the format. Does this look cool or this look cool, ladies? I think this looks cool. Why can't it be full screen though? We're gonna have this little song dedication for our guest and me, who apparently I think Film Gob now I've come to realize he was a fan of Blackpink before me, because I became a fan when Nine Muses broke up, or whatchamacallit, what's the right word? Oh, there we go. That's the way to see it. They disbanded. So we'll enjoy some Blackpink right now. I'm screwing up. How do I get you here? There we go.
얼굴에 그렇지 못한 태도 간녀린 몸에서 가려진 볼륨은 두 배로 거침없이 찍힌 굳이 보진 않지 넌지 블랙하면 핑크 우린 예쁘장한 savage 원하던 대놓고 뺐지 눈물에도 칼로 무배기 두 손엔 카디칼 배치 궁금하면 never fact check 눈 높인 꼭대기 물 만난 물고기 좀 톡해 난 toxic 유혹해 I'm foxy 두 생각해
Oh, I love this part.
착한 척이 못하니까 착각하지 마 쉽게 웃어주는 건 날 위한 거야 아직은 잘 모르겠지 그저 원하면 test me 넌 불보듯이 뻔해 만만한 걸 원했다면 I'll wait till I do what I hit you with that do-do-do-do Oh yeah, oh yeah Hit you with that do-do-do-do Oh yeah, oh yeah
You're probably going to get a copyright strike for this.
Oh, I usually do. So I can't monetize it, but that's fine.
that song, right? That's their Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Dude, that's what launched them globally. They came to the States with that.
So speaking of
because that came out when I was a Blackpink fan. Before that, I was just like casual.
So you knew about Blackpink and you never told me?
I just said while you were gone. It turns out you were a Blackpink fan before me. Before I was a Blink, I was a Nine Muses fan. I'm tempted
I've only
to show
been a
you
Blink for about a year.
Wait, a year? Oh, I
That's what I'm
thought you
saying, you
said
knew about
you
them
were a
before me.
fan when you heard the song as it came out. That's what I heard when you said "As You Like It," because that was one of the earlier cuts.
Yeah. So I found out,
So I was
about
before
them
you.
a year ago, and I've been since then.
Oh yeah, I didn't tell you.
What's
I
that?
didn't know
Yeah.
you were a fan like that. Sorry, no, but yeah, no, I thought it was pretty apparent that I was a Blackpink fan. But forgive me, I'm glad. Well, welcome to the Pink Brotherhood.
But just kind of going back to kind of other music.
Oh yeah, listen.
How did you hear the Nirvana song that's been written by the AI? It's like a new.
No, what is this?
I don't know. It's like I think it's a compilation album of songs written by an AI, artificial intelligence. So basically, what these creators did was they cut up songs, or they fed songs into a computer or whatever, and the AI basically created a new song, and you can hear a new Nirvana song, and it's like it's Kurt Cobain singing with new lyrics and a new music, and it's like, what? And see, I've not heard the Jimi Hendrix song yet, but it's insane. It is. Go to Nirvana, drowned in the sun, I think it's called.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna Google, because this is like, I never heard this before.
I listened to it. I was like, it's blowing my mind.
So okay, hold on. What is it?
Drowned in the sun.
Drowning in the sun. Like Nirvana.
It should be on YouTube.
Yeah. And I found it.
Like, are you a fan of Nirvana? Did you ever kind of grow up?
Oh, I like Nirvana. Like one of my music teachers, he because I used to play bass guitar. He saw Nirvana live in their garage before they were signed and anyone knew them, and he was like, it was really cool. These guys were something. They were something else. Like he said that when they were signed, they were more fine-tuned in their sound, but they were more harder and grittier when they were young earlier. So we're gonna have this new reaction right here with Kojay and your boy. All right, I had never heard this before. I'm like, what? So, brought to you by FILM GOB.
Got my hands right now in every room. I've been here before. got to pay.
Oh, what the hell? All right, I'm gonna stop that for the copyright stuff before it gets crazy. But whoa!
See, it's like it's his voice, and they've created a new song. That's insane.
Whoa!
So you listen to the whole song later. It's like it'll blow your mind.
No, it already blew my mind, man. I felt like I went back in time to an alternate dimension where this song was a hit.
Mm. I've not even heard the Jimi Hendrix song yet. I want to listen to that.
This is so weird. What's going on in the future? Yo, when you die, we're still going to continue on by the algorithms of the AI and stuff, and it's going to entertain people.
Or
and
maybe
we ain't going to get money because we're dead.
Maybe like that Johnny Depp film, our consciousness will be uploaded to the internet. You never know. Would you do that if they give you a choice?
I have to think about it. I don't know. Because I won't be around to enjoy it. So I'd be like, screw y'all, I'm exclusive. But as you can tell, dang. That's
They could make a I don't know what other songs are on the album, but that's like the two that I heard about. That's the one I heard.
But here's the thing. I wonder, because it's based on algorithms of and all this information that Kazakhs, this guy. That's how MCU movies are made. What's interesting is like it has to be based off of information data that's been already made.
Yeah.
So whatever they make would be more versions of that. The only thing is that the artist grows with time and changes. I don't know if it would leave any room for changing, or because you don't know which direction an artist will go as they get older and pursue the art. So I think it'd be cool to make more, but it would be more of the past, variants of the past. It wouldn't grow.
But it's a song that kind of fits into their.
Yeah, because I thought that's like a B-side. It almost felt like a song we missed. Whoa! Even their guitar was everything. Wow!
And then as the song goes on, there's like a little break, and then it's like kind of goes it goes loud and then it goes soft again. I was like, ah. So a funny story, right? Funny story.
Yeah, what's up?
You know the band the Melvins?
Actually, no.
No,
I know of them. I'm not familiar.
The Melvins, they were kind of they still make music today, and they're very kind of
all right, cool,
punk and rock and all that stuff. Kind of very. I saw them live. They're so intense, and they're like so kind of precise in their. Even though it's very kind of experimental, kind of punk and rocking, but it's like, man, it's insane. But I saw them live here in Glasgow, and I got there early, and the support band, right, they come on stage and they start playing, and I'm like, oh, that's Flipper. There's an old punk band called Flipper, because they played the bass line. I was like, oh, that's it. So I got closer to the stage, and I was like, that bass player looks familiar. Oh shit, it's Chris Novoselic. Like Chris Novoselic was playing bass. I was like, I didn't know this was going to happen. So
now who's that again?
What's that?
Chris
Novoselic. You know the bass player in Nirvana.
Oh, I'm just bad with names. I know the bass player though. All right, cool.
So
dang.
He's on stage, and I'm like, oh wow. So when they finished, he came kind of in front of the crowd, and he was just shaking hands and stuff. And I was like, he's gone, right? He's gone. So there was a break. So I got closer to the front, and Chris was coming back. He had his jacket on, so he was going to go outside, and he's coming towards me, and he's turning. And because I have a soft voice, right? I wanted to grab his attention, just say hello or say, whatever. Yeah. And I shouted at him. I was like, hey, Chris. And he turns around like, who the fuck is this? So I kind of scared him. But I'm like, thanks for coming. I was like, we weren't expecting you to be here. And he's like, oh, thanks. No problem. Cool. And he walked away. And I shook hands. I was like, oh, I got
hey, that's great.
So this was a few years ago, but It's one of my best memories.
Dude, that's just so awesome. Wow.
Chubby says, saw the
Oh,
Melvins
wait,
open
hold on.
for
I was
Nirvana
going to
in
bring that up
93.
too. Hold on. Saw the Melvins open up for Nirvana in 93. It was apparently Nirvana's last show before what happened to Kirk. Oh, wow. Chubby has a question for you also, by the way. Choo-choo. So Danzig just said in this interview that punk music could not happen these days due to cancel culture. What are your thoughts?
Pretty much. Like I was when I was making music like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Like I was saying things in my music that I couldn't get away. I couldn't get away with. I could not get away with it now. Like there's no way. So you kind of have to retrain. You have to kind of rethink. You know, what is your music? What is it you're saying? Who's going to listen to this? Right? And definitely music like, I don't know, maybe Danzig, maybe the Misfits. I don't know, but that music would be very hard to kind of have mass appeal. But then again, they never had mass appeal to begin with. So
that's right.
But then again, like say I don't know, the Ramones. What kind of what did they have in their music? I don't think Ramones were ever that kind of controversial. I just thought their music was just kind of fun and goofy and
yeah. It had a lot of good energy.
Feel good. So I think punk music, that kind of punk music is still around today, I think, and is still kind of popular in some ways, you know. But
well, they do have some
that kind of harder punk music. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
There's no it's kind of difficult to.
Yeah, because I was about to say there are some other commercially known punk bands like Green Day or Sum 41 and stuff like that. Oh, we got a little warning for you, man. Be careful. Be careful, man.
Yeah. I've been cancelled. I've been cancelled on Twitter.
But you made your comeback, as they say in K-pop.
Every few months, I get cancelled. What's Riot? He's 44. Punk got co-opted and nerfed around the same time hip-hop did. Kind of died out in the early 2000s, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out to my boy, 44. Sourcewall in the house.
You don't want any beef. You don't want any Tupac versus Biggie type beefs anymore. Even though rappers are kind of dying all over the place these days, it's like you hear about a rapper dying, and it's like, who's this? Who's this Nipsey Hussle?
Nipsey Hussle?
Like, Juicy World is like, who are these? I didn't know who these rappers are, but apparently they're kind of big and they got murdered or something.
Oh, you're not too big in the hip hop scene, huh? More like the alternative, new wave, pop, K-pop. No, Blackpink is its own thing, so that don't count.
Kendrick Lamar, Tyler, the Creator, Danny Brown. So there's some I kind of I hear, and I'm like, all right, I'll check out their album. But I still listen to like the new Ice Cube stuff. New Ice Cube album was pretty good. Yeah. And DMX passed away. That was sad, but
yeah, that was.
He did a track with the Locks last year. It's called "Ain't About Shit." It's pretty good. It's pretty good song.
Shout out to the ambassador, Kojay, one of my all-time favorite trolls, Film Gob.
I'm not a troll.
Yeah, you did not ask me a riddle when I wanted to cross a bridge. So yes, appreciate that. Oh man, what a crazy world. So you just play guitar? You said you do remix too. Does that mean you do programming there?
I did some guitar, never really got into it, but it's mainly kind of sequencing and composition, sampling, some vocals here and there. But I guess I should, I guess by now I should have kind of been more professional at it, but I kind of got bored of it and kind of moved away. So if I had maybe
when you got bored and moved away, how long ago was that?
2014.
Okay, so you're kind of a different person now. Do you think it's something you could entertain now?
It's possibly, but then you hear people like Junkie XL. You listen to their music, and they're coming from that, you know, they used to make kind of dance music, and now they're making film score. So you get a lot of these kind of musicians who are now kind of transitioning to film scores. So I like listening to a lot of scores, soundtracks. So I don't know.
Did you hear the it's called Danny the Dog or Jet Li's Unleashed, the soundtrack by Massive Attack?
Yeah.
That was great. Okay, maybe not a troll, maybe more of a jester or joker, spreading joy wherever he goes. I like that. I call you Captain Charisma on Sonic Fighters. That's like a slogan. Now, y'all, your channel is so dope, bro. It's like, do you remember the show The Soup, where the guy just kind of like talks about everything crazy going on TV, mostly reality or whatever? Or have you ever seen that?
The what?
The Soup. It was kind of like making, you know, updates, but also, you know, pointing out the silliness going on in entertainment media. And what's cool about what I gotta compliment you, man. Your channel is so entertaining because I don't really care about the negativity and the hatred towards the movement or people or Zack Snyder's work. I just kind of like to avoid it because I find that very toxic and ignorant and annoying. I can go on. So when I come to your channel, you know, I get to, because I'm just wondering, what are other people saying? Then when I see what they're saying, I'm like, oh, wow, this is right there. And then you get it all real quick, and then you get the gist. And how do you get all that together? You have this great, your videos are cut so well, man. How long does that take?
I mean, like I say, you know, previously it used to be kind of easy because I used to watch, you know, channels like Collider. I used to watch stuff, you know, and IGN, and then you kind of watch them, and then you remember if they say something stupid, and you go back and you kind of compare it or whatever, and then that's easy to find. You know, that's easy. You just search on YouTube. So I think a lot of kind of good, like a lot of videos that are popular on my channel, people came to my channel. It was around about that time when I was kind of doing funny edits and making fun of Collider or doing the Red Letter Media mashups, whatever it was. But yeah, different people, different kind of audiences came to my channel for different types of videos. And now I want to do something different now. So it's like I was talking about it on my previous live stream where so it'll be fun to kind of go back to the 90s and pick films that I've never seen. I've heard about, but I've never seen them. So it'd be good to kind of watch stuff like, you know, Wesley Snipes films and you know, I came across one. It was Under Siege with Steven Seagal. Apparently, like I remember when that
I saw that in theaters.
Because I remember when it came out, people were like, "Oh, it's like Die Hard. It's like this. It's like that." So I want to check out is it like Die Hard? Was it any good? Don't tell me.
There was a weird scene. This is not a spoiler, but there was a weird scene where Steven Seagal blocked a punch, went around, did a karate arm lock toss, and they fast forward the footage just to make it move quicker in post. So be prepared. But yeah, it's worth a watch though for that.
So there's so many. I've got a huge list of 90s films that like I've heard of. I always wanted to watch them, but I never got around to it. So now let's check them out. And I'll do. I won't do like a watch party, but I'll do like just kind of cut up reaction of, you know, going through the film, picking out scenes that are interesting or whatever. And yeah, it'll be fun.
You know what? If we could get the timing right, I'd like to invite you to some of mine because I'm actually looking, because I have this library of like kung fu films and other stuff that aren't even on digital access for anyone to see. And if I can, without offending any copyright stuff, I'm not trying to make money, blah, blah. You all know that. I want to try and see if I could do like a watch party on Twitch or even just on private of these rare kung fu films, Korean films, and some 90s action films too that no one's seen before. I want to invite you to that, man. If you're free, that'd be fun.
It's all about time and so much to do, so little time.
Yeah, but the cool thing is, as a content creator, you're creative enough and passionate enough to keep giving more new stuff, and I'm excited to see what you got, bro.
I watched Mortal Kombat and I was like, I can't even bother reviewing it. It was like such a letdown. But
So
it's
disappointed.
weird. It's weird because I had some people are saying they love it, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. What did you
One of my
see?
favorite podcasts that I listened to. Well, on average, they gave it a 3 out of 5, but they were kind of like praising it in some parts, and I was like, I don't know what movie you guys were watching, but then I saw someone on Facebook saying they loved it. I was ready to jump in, like, no, you're wrong, but I was like, just leave it.
Yeah, well,
Let people enjoy things.
Yeah, some people really love Sharknado, so everyone's got their thing. Just the problem with what bothered me with Mortal Kombat was I was expecting a martial arts film, and usually martial arts film they complement the martial arts. You know what I mean? Like they follow the kick. Oh,
Yeah.
I see one. Whoa, comments are happening in. Let's see this.
The 44 was talking to Mr. West Ashley, and he's like, in the age of films like John Wick, and I would say in the age of films like The Raid 1 and 2, you're trying to tell me that Mortal Kombat, that's the best they can do? Fight scenes?
I know, right? And it's weird too, because I didn't even feel the fight scenes were shot well, because they would pan the camera behind the actor, behind their shoulder while they're doing a combo. And I'm like, it's obvious they put in work for the fight scenes, but I don't think it was captured well. The whole movie to me felt like it was multicam shot, like they have 3 cameras and they just cut between them. And it was all the same angle. So it's like they had a tripod and they just moved the camera around. It just felt very lazy to me. Ambassador says, Film Gob, I'll definitely check out those reviews. Retro films is my thing. I watched Mortal Kombat, and it was a letdown. I don't hate it, but it was just lacking.
I mean, the thing with Mortal Kombat is like, they're talking about, we are planning for a tournament. We need to train for the tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's no tournament because bloody Shang Tsung just randomly comes into Raiden's temple. I've decided I'm going to take you down now. It's like, what is this? And then he tries a second time, and that's when they fight. Right?
Mm-hmm. And then in the end, when he shows up again, Raiden's like, all right, you're gone. He couldn't do that before in his own house.
Like that's what makes, I would say Mortal Kombat, when it comes to, the tournament and the rules that are set in place, and then Shang Tsung interferes during the tournament in his own little ways, that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah, because
like, Scorpion's legacy.
Yeah, because they forget the thing. There's a pantheon. There's a chain of command. The elder gods are overseeing the tournament. This is for them. There's rules you can't break, otherwise the elder gods will see you. Oh man, let's throw in some comments here. They went the CGI route, and rated John Wick was mostly practical. Yep. 44. I was watching MK like, Kojay is gonna be this one. Yeah, I was. And here we go. Tell Gob to rank Spider-Man actors best of worst. Whoa. We'll go there in a second. I want to get these Mortal Kombat things real quick. I feel I'm alone in liking Mortal Kombat, pure entertaining, but it's more of an 80s, 90s throwback superhero film rather than a real martial arts film. I would say that in a way that it did feel like Double Dragon with Mark Dacascos and that guy from Party of Five, where it's kind of like minimal, but they focused more on the art, the sets or ish. Yeah, it did.
It has its moments, but I was like, nah.
Okay, here's the thing. Jax gets his arms ripped off by Sub-Zero. And then he gets his Arcana power to become half Transformer only in his arms. And he says, give me Reiko. I have a score to settle. Shouldn't be Sub-Zero. I'm it's like these things. This hurts my mind. I am here with Ambassador. I'm going to actually do a video about that. Mortal Kombat 5 is superior. For just saying. So let's go to a positive note as one of our good friends.
I need to rank those Spider-Man.
Yeah. Where's that comment? Where
Mr. Fahrenheit.
Mr. Fahrenheit. You need to run my show, man. I can't even do this. Oh, there it is. Haha. There we go.
So it'd be top, would be, of course, Tobey Maguire. and of course Andrew Garfield second, and Tom Holland is not even my Spider-Man, so I don't care.
Thank you. I'm not in Tom Holland. I
Actually,
feel that is. Oh,
Peter Parker in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, he'd be third.
I thought that was the Tobey Maguire version, just animated with a longer jaw.
Not to me.
No, not to you. Okay, cool. Because I don't like Tobey Maguire.
Actually, wait a minute.
Holland, what? Okay.
Tobey Maguire, the Peter Parker from Spider-Man, the animated series, then Andrew Garfield, then Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, then the Spider-Man from PS4, from the PlayStation 4 game.
Yeah.
And then somewhere is Tom Holland.
Yeah, see, I feel Tom Holland was in place of Miles Morales, because the whole setting, his friends, him in high school with his mom being younger, idolizing Iron Man, that's ultimate Spider-Man right there, which is Miles Morales. And I was thinking, how cool and groundbreaking would it be to see Miles Morales in that promo for Civil War, flipping back with the shield? You know, that'd be cool. That'd be a new dynamic, you know? And then you could see like Tony Stark going into the, you know, the urban areas of New York to find him, you know? It's like, that's what bothers me. I feel that was a huge opportunity lost. And at the time, I feel like Marvel's like, this diversity, let's make these guys animated like Big Hero 6 or something. So, yeah, it didn't bode well. I'm the same, but I'm kind of an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man guy, and Tobey Maguire's right here. But it's close. It's just that I really like Andrew Garfield when he's in the Spider-Man suit, but as Peter Parker, I like Tobey Maguire more.
Oh, the Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit is perfect.
That thing is beautiful. Mwah.
Yeah,
because the goggle thing was a little different. And here we go. 94 animated series Spider-Man. That was good. That was the first time we saw Blade on screen. Because I think that show invented Whisker. I mean, yeah. So, Whisker. There's no Whisker with Whisper. Oh man, I have to what? I forgot. Who's the guy who was training Blade? I'm getting my W's mixed up.
Wheeler.
Whistler.
Whistler.
It was Whistler. Wesker. That's Resident Evil. It was definitely Whistler. Hey, we gotta revisit those 90s again, man. Now you're also into Korean film, because I noticed you liked my nod to Chan-wook Park a few times for Old Boy.
You know, I just bought a box set of Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah,
it's got all his films in it. It's like,
wow,
it's pretty cool.
Blu-ray,
yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a new box set from, I don't know which. It's BFI, the British Film Institute.
Do you have it to show?
Yeah, I can go and
get
it.
I want to see that. Ladies and gentlemen, I love collecting. I have my own collection too, and shoot, it's a fine wine collection. Oh, thank you. What does it look like? Oh, wow, that is nice. Whoa. Oh, dang. I like. Oh, the back is nice too. Oh man, Snowpiercer is so good. Dang. Oh.
And it's got Parasite Black and White edition.
For real? Oh, snap. So, I need that. Hopefully they have it here, because sometimes in the States, we don't get the same box sets that you do. And if I want one of your box sets, sometimes what's the region? Oh, wow.
I don't know. But it's actually Curzon. They're the distributor, Artificial Eye series.
Wow, that is nice.
Yeah. It's just they just announced it like a month before its release. And I was like, wow, okay. I'll buy that. I've also got the Chan-wook Park Chan-wook's Vengeance trilogy.
Ooh,
That's like
which one did you
that's-
like? I really like Lady Vengeance.
I want to watch Lady Vengeance again because I only watched it once and it was like really hard to watch. Like there's things in it like
No, I agree. Yeah.
I really like Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, and of course Old Boy is amazing. I watched Old Boy. I remember going to watch. We have a cinema here called the Glasgow Film Theatre, the GFT, and it shows films like the mainstream cinema, which is Cineworld. They don't show that often. So when I was in college, I remember Donnie Darko was released and nobody else was showing it. So I saw Donnie Darko there for the first time. That was amazing. And Old Boy as well. Nobody else was showing it. They were showing it. So I went to GFT, and again, it's like one of the best kind of memorable films experiences.
Oh wow. Dang.
I
Oh,
did. Like, I think Old Boy, like, I remember seeing the trailer for it, and I was like, I don't know what the tone of this film is going to be, but the premise sounds interesting. So let me go and check it out. So that was it.
well, I was lucky to know the comics that it's based off of. So technically, Old Boy is a CBM. The comics were totally different. They felt more mafioso. This one felt more what he did with the Old Boy. He really mixed it up and turned it into like a Fight Club type of narrative. And it was so psychological. It fit his whole vengeance thing so nicely. Oh, man. Now, I have to ask you, did you watch the illegal remake in Bollywood of Old Boy called Zinda with Sanjay Dutt?
No.
Good. Don't. That guy got sued so fast that Zinda was like stopped in production. I don't even know if that director is making films in India anymore. Before he made that, he made a film called Karam with John Abraham, which is pretty dope. And you can see he was going for a Zack Snyder type of Sin City vibe here and there. But when they because they don't really ask permission in Bollywood sometimes. They just kind of take stuff from everywhere. And I don't like that. I hate when they do it. But freaking Zinda was, if you watch it, they did the same thing, except that hallway scene where they fought. They did one shot, but it was in the corner of a room, and it was just doing this. And they changed a lot of the story in the end. It was very whack. And in fact, I saw Zinda first before Old Boy, and then Spike Lee does his Old Boy later. I didn't even bother with that one. Did you see that one?
Terrible.
Yeah, I didn't bother with that one because Zinda screwed me up. Yeah. So I didn't bother with Spike Lee's one. And I just don't like
I don't know
when
why
a film is
Spike
so
Lee
great, don't remake it. Just
I don't know why Spike Lee did that. Like, usually he makes kind of decent films, quite good films.
Yeah, well,
Like,
I think he had to pay
why
some
you
bills or
remaking it?
something,
Yeah.
Maybe he wanted a car. I don't know. So yeah, is there any other Korean films you like, man?
So many.
Yeah,
too many.
it's like my favorite film industry right now. Have you seen their comic book movie Along with the Gods?
Not yet, no.
All right.
That's like 2 parts, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're making the third one. Now, I am looking to try and see if I could host a watch party on Twitch, like other people do. So I'll let you know. The first thing I'm going to show is like Korean cinema, if I can. And
I love it.
I highly recommend it. It's so good.
I love a film called The Chaser. Have you seen that? Chaser?
No, I haven't seen it.
Man, so it's films like that, Chaser, and I Saw the Devil.
Yeah, I Saw the Devil. That one is so Hitchcocky crazy. Oh.
I love how Koreans, right? They come up with kind of premise, like the plots and stories that you've never imagined. It's like they come up with like weird, not like it's not like completely new, but it's like there's twists to it that just kind of throw you like, what? So
yeah, it's great, and it's cool because like a lot of that, and all the actors have been in a lot of dramas. Like they go back and forth, so they can really get emotional. They're used to it, and
I love Kang. Is it Kang Sang-ho who plays the father in Parasite? He's really good. I can watch any of his films. He's so good.
I'm a fan of Won Bin. He was in. He actually got award for best actor from The Man from Nowhere. Have you seen that one?
That's another one I want to catch up.
Oh, that's my jam, dude. The Man from Nowhere. Oh, I highly recommend. Oh, dude, we got a watch party, or I'll hook you up or something, man. That stuff's great. We have a question. Oh, hi. That's not a question, but hello. Thanks for coming by. And here we go. Ask a gob to rank the MonsterVerse movies. I won't ask him because it sounds like you did too. Is that something you'd like to
This
try?
is the last. I need to go, so this will be a quick one. So let's see.
Okay.
I need the list in front of me, so I don't know.
What is the MonsterVerse? Is this the new one, like Godzilla?
Oh yeah, the new Godzilla films and the new Kong films. So I'd say Godzilla, King of the Monsters is my favorite.
Okay.
I know that film gets a lot of hate, but I loved it.
I mean, just fast forward the humans.
And then you've got Kong Skull Island, second. Then third would be Godzilla 2014. I want to revisit that because after this one, was it Godzilla versus Kong?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like they just kind of shat the bed with that one. So I want to revisit Godzilla 2014. So that's my 4 there. So King of the Monsters, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla 2014, and then Godzilla versus Kong.
Nice, man. Ah, that's cool. For me, it's Godzilla 2014 and King of Monsters and Skull Island, maybe, and then I haven't seen Godzilla versus Kong, so I can't put it in there. Not yet. Do you think I should?
Godzilla versus Kong was like, it's like a 5-year-old made this. It was like so dumb, and it was like so. And in some ways that's cool, but I was expecting more.
Oh, here we go. As an uncultured American, can you give me a short definition of Bollywood? I will. Bollywood is any film that is a film that has song and dance sequences. It's not, in my definition, it's not a musical. Musicals are more character driven and story driven, where a character expresses himself in the moment of the story and the story progresses during the song. In Bollywood, it's a little break and it's a song dance sequence. It's a romance. I love you. Why aren't you with me anymore? Let's party. Or the bad guys are just partying, which is rare. And those are the only songs. No story thing. It's a break. It's like a music video. In any film, they have action films, drama films, comedies, romances, period films, sci-fi, now superhero, action. They all have song and dance sequences in them. And horror.
The thing is, right, with like when I was like a kid and watching Indian films, to me it was like Indian cinema, Indian films.
Yeah, we call them films.
Then the word Bollywood, the term Bollywood, kind of came around in the 90s,
late 90s, early 2000s,
and because it was a certain type of films that they were making, and it was like, let's give it a name, Bollywood. So yeah, I don't like these really dumb, made for like really dumb audiences. There's a collection of films and they all have the same actors in them, and they're all going around doing really dumb things, and it's like straight out comedy, right? That kind of shit, I don't care. But older Indian films are like, so good. Like that, it's like a mixture of genres. You've got action, you've got romance, you've got music, you've got drama. It's like,
so in good. Sri Lanka back in the 80s, early 90s, how they advertised the Bollywood film, because Sri Lankan films are like they're like student films. Even I was like, Ramesh, should I watch any Sri Lankan films while I'm here? He's like, no. So then in Sri Lanka, the Bollywood film, they would say, okay, here's a Bollywood film, and it would say love story, 3 fights, 5 songs. That's all. They wouldn't even tell you what it's about. They would have a little description, like, all that. And I was like, oh, it was great.
One of the funniest films in Indian cinema is Satya Pe Sata. Have you seen that?
No, who's in it?
Amitabh Bachchan.
Wait, is this old school or new school? Amitabh Bachchan.
Oh yeah, so it's from the
This is before he went into government.
early
right?
80s, I would say, early 80s.
Okay, I missed a few. Because keep
So
going.
it's Amitabh Bachchan, Shakti Kapoor, Hema Malini.
Who's the bad guy?
Amjad Khan. He's the bad guy.
Okay.
Is it?
Oh, I don't think I've seen this one.
I think it's Amjad Khan.
Because
Yeah.
my Amitabh Bachchan movies were like mixed up because that's when I was slowly getting into it. My mom only got Amitabh Bachchan movies, Anil Kapoor films, and Amir Khan. Thankfully, I love that guy. And Salman Khan films, only those. And I thought those were the only four dudes who worked in India for a second.
Yeah, my family is the same. And
I had to get my mom to watch Dar. I was like, dude, this guy, Shah Rukh Khan, he's really good. Watch Dar. She's like, I don't like Sunny Deol. He's a bad. I don't like his father. I was like, dang, girl, what's this, all this? Don't you watch Sholay? And then she hated the Deol family, so she didn't bother. So then I had to find all these actors later, all these other films later. But my favorite Amitabh Bachchan film were two. Ajuba. Did you ever see that one? It was like a fantasy Middle Eastern inspired thing. Ajuba, he had a mask. Oh man, where is that film?
They all blend into the same kind of film because they're so very similar plot.
Yeah, but this one he had a whole suit, cape. He looked like a Zorro.
Yeah, I think I remember it, but I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, but it was so crazy because he had this dumb move where someone would shoot an arrow, he'd catch it and throw it back at the people, and they'd be like, "Ah, all bad movies." Like,
what about Shaheen Shah? Have you seen that?
No, have you seen Coolie?
Yeah.
Oh, see, Coolie was my jam. That was the Amitabh Bachchan movie I saw on repeat. Now, maybe wait, hold on. Maybe you can help me. There's an Amitabh Bachchan movie I cannot remember. He triple acted. He played his father. And then something bad happened to the father, and then he played his twin sons, and then they had to find each other. One twin son was a cop, and he had a mustache, and one twin son was like a ruffian or something. It's almost like Kishan and Kanea, where Anil Kapoor, he got hit. The other guy would feel like those G.I. Joe characters. I don't know if you saw Kishan and Kanea, but I don't know what that Amitabh Bachchan film is, and I want to find it because
I'm sure you find it, dude. I'm sure it's somewhere.
I just remembered it. I totally forgot about this film.
Just go to IMDb. Just check out his.
Amitabh Bachchan's like 2,000 movies, bro. Oh, but yeah,
it's probably the 90s to the 80s to the 70s. That's all that. It'll be there.
Yo, I gotta ask you. Do you remember the movie Company with Vivek Oberoi and
I think I've seen
Ajay Devgan?
I think I've seen about half of it. I want to watch it.
Watch that. That's so good. That's before Vivek Oberoi got super cocky, you know. But that's a good one.
I think the last Indian film I saw was Fan with Shah Rukh Khan.
Really? I actually just saw War with Tiger Shroff and Hrithik Roshan, and oddly enough, it was a Yash Raj film that was super action packed. I mean, since he passed, it's kind of like, you know, Microsoft and the company took over and now they're doing different things. Yeah. But it was like a spy action thing, and it's kind of like they're trying to go for a Fast and Furious thing. The plot is kind of but the action's decent. I was like, oh, okay, they're not, because I don't like when they copy other people and they do their own stuff. They were going for
maybe that's another series of videos I can do, catching up with Bollywood films.
Hey, we do it together. But yeah, I want to do some more film stuff too. Do you have any favorite? Hey, you have to go. How would you like to end the show? Or for you, because I want to show people my DVDs.
Well,
I'll do it when you're gone.
Thanks everyone for tuning in and listening to us just geeking out over random things. But
yeah,
it's been fun. Thanks for having me, Kojay. And I'm like I say, I'm going to take a break. Definitely taking a break this month, right? Because the gyms are back open. I need to go to the gym.
Oh, yay!
So I'll be offline for most of the month. Just getting fit. That's it.
Hey, and man,
we'll come back with a new look for Film Gob.
Hey, awesome. We have a little request here for you, brother.
Chia.
Hey, oh, thank you so much. That was dope. We have people saying goodbye. Man, bro, thank you for coming back. If you come back, do this again, that's cool. My channel is just dedicated to geeking out and expressing yourself. So you're always welcome here. I got mad love for you, bro. Thanks for giving love to me on your show too. I appreciate it. And yeah, man. Any last words you want to say as you make your exit?
I'm Shayker, and you're not. There you go.
All right, man. Well, I'll talk to you later on. Doom Patrol, bam. We got the Doomers and Watchmen, and much love, brother. I'll have you exit out, and I'm gonna show some people my DVDs and call it a day. Thanks so much for being here, brother. I'll see you soon. Talk to you soon. That was Film Gob, ladies and gentlemen. So glad to have him here, and shoot, I hope you had a good time. And before we go, I'm going to show you some random movies in my collection just because I was starting to look for it, and I want to see if I have it. Bye. Now, there was a comment earlier on that I really like. Someone knows about this film. Is Taega Gi. And I don't know where my Blu-ray is because I just moved. Where is that? Where is that great fellow who said Taega Gi? Now, are you all interested in more foreign cinema that's really badass? I would love to show you. So Taega Gi translates to the Brotherhood of War. And I got some new people in the stream. Vega, you just missed Film God, man. And here we go, my boy, Coach Heavy Hands. Yes, it was. I want to give props. You said something about Taega Gi, bro. And Taega Gi is interesting because I have it on DVD and Blu-ray. And it's well, we're glad you made it nonetheless, bro. But Taega Gi, I'll show all my movies later, but I have to find it because I moved and I put a lot of stuff everywhere. In fact, hold on a second. I see something. I want to show you, and then we'll go in. Anyways, BRB. The whole universe around. All right, so here's the thing. I like hard copy because in this world of digital age, they don't have everything. And got some love to the homies right here. Now, some films get caught off, taken out of streaming services for copyright rules. And then if you don't have the hard copy, how are you going to get access to that movie you love so much? That's why hard copy is really good. So I can't find the Juba, but I'll make a video where I'm going to go over my movies. Now, this is something I like to do. So anyways, oh yeah, I caught my train of thought. I was really trying to find my Blu-ray of Taega Gi because unfortunately, you only get the full frame version of the film on Amazon or YouTube if you could rent it. But it's a film about the Korean War. And it's very important to me because my grandfather was missing in action in the Korean War and he came back to us. So when I watch this film, I always wonder, where was my grandfather at that time? And it was made by the director who did Red Firecracker, Green Firecracker. I think that's the name of that film. It's a really good film. It's very Saving Private Ryan at the time. And I would say it's even more intense than Private Ryan at some scenes. But it does the same effect. Both of them movies are phenomenal. But this movie has a theme not just about the Korean War, but it's about how an older brother and a little brother look out for each other in such dire times, in such times where they change. And it's a very passionate, driven movie, very gritty, very uncomfortable, and it captures the horrors of war. It doesn't glorify much of war, but it really captures the violence and the drama and the politics that drive to such a situation. Such a great film. If I can, when I start hosting my films and watch parties, if I can get that, hopefully you can come through and see it too. But nonetheless, let's go through my movie collection because Film Gob got me hot. Lagan. Oh, the glare. This is a great film. It's like Rocky in the sense where it's a sports film where the village learns how to play cricket to fight for the right to not be taxed for 3 years by the British government that is in control of the country and the people. Wonderful film. It's close to 4 hours. I think it's 3 hours and a half. Released by what? Columbia and Sony. Whoa, that's why it's hard. This film is beautiful, and I treasure this because I can't find a digital copy anywhere. So that must continue. Now, part of Film Gob's collection, the comic book movie Snowpiercer with Chris Evans and John Hurt and other talents. This is what was in his collection. Is really great, awesome film. They made a series on one of the streaming services. I forgot, but Bong Joon-ho. This is one of his films. It's really good. I like this. It's a post-apocalyptic world where humanity lives on a train that's just going around, and it's about life on that train. So it's like a self-contained Babylon 5, like all in brown sector. If you know Babylon 5, you know what's up. And by mentioning that, Babylon 5 season 4. This stuff's amazing. Back in the day, I put a gold star for everything that inspired me in my work. And this is definitely one of that. Oh, it's so beautiful. This is the greatest show ever. Oh, here we go. Oh, Snowpiercer Theory. It's a sequel to Willy Wonka. That's interesting. I think I'd have to look into the French comic book because that's where it comes from, and that'd be interesting if that's an inspiration from that. That's cool. I didn't hear that before, and I could kind of see that. Very cool. Now moving along, here's one of my favorite precious collections, Mulan, the movie that came out in I'm trying to read that, it's like. Now, as you can see, my Americana homies and homegirls, that's the British type of thing. And this plays on, it's all region, I believe, or region A. And it can play on any Blu-ray, which is good. Now, this is the second time I bought it. When I moved, I lost my original copy. So this is the second one I got. Had to pay $30 for this thing because it's out of print. Because China also made another reboot of Mulan with way doper fighting, a loose story, a dark end where Mulan and the prince, they die fighting, defending this castle. It's really awesome. Sorry for the spoiler, but the movie's kind of But the fighting in that Mulan is great. This one is a really more realistic kind of war-driven style. And you actually see her go up the ranks as a general. And it's really dope in how she has to fight. And I won't spoil the ending. And going on, all right, this is the movie, but I don't know if any of you remember this show from the 90s, Pirates of Dark Water. This is the series, and when Pirates of Dark Water came out, there was like a mini series that made a movie. Like they would tie up to a movie, and this was a fantasy thing where this evil water's just taking over the world, and the whole world's like it's like, imagine Waterworld with fantasy and magic and ancient times, like in the He-Man thing, but no technology. It's pretty cool, and this is the series. So I am looking for the mini series because that was a different story, and it was so good, so deep. This is the chosen king and his father's broken sword, and he still fought with it. Look like He-Man if he was a natty. Yo, you remember it? Hell yeah, that was a good show, man. Good show. Now, here's a classic Mohabbat. It's just a love story because I love Madhuri. But the problem is some of the actors she's with, I don't like in her films. But Akshay Khanna, he's one of my favorite actors. He's a really, 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 really good actor. And I think he needs better roles for his work, And Dil Chahte Hai is amazing what he did. And speaking of, more Akshay Khanna. Dole Saja Ke Rakna. This is a really good one because if you're familiar with Tollywood and Kollywood, the Telugu and Tamil industry, you will recognize her. She's an amazing actress. She's on the thick side, and she gets some criticism from that. I've heard from my aunties, like they should talk sometimes. Really, I love you though. But anyways, she's a phenomenal actress. She's so good, and this is a beautiful film. And I think the music has A.R. Rahman's early work, I believe. Yep, music by A.R. Rahman, who I've seen in concert twice. And I guess this is a trilogy of Akshay Khanna. Here's another one. This is a rare film, Dayak. And this is just great because again, I had a huge crush on Sonali Bendri. She's so gorgeous. But again, she's with some movies with guys I didn't think were worthy enough for her glow to be a co-star. You know what I mean? I'm so picky. But this is a beautiful film. The music is great. It takes me back to Dil. And this is actually a dope film where they actually changed the ending, I think, politically. It had a Romeo and Juliet story where she's a Muslim girl and she falls in love with a Hindu boy. And you can imagine the problems that caused at the time. But what's cool is the film the ending feels forced. I really feel that they've meant for the whole film does have a positive message. But the outcome of the film felt rushed, and I feel they did that so they could avoid certain backlash. And if you watch the film, you'll understand why. If you don't want to watch it, I'll find a way to make it a watch party so you can watch it with me too. But yeah, this is now all these Bollywood films are 3 hours long, and I'm used to that. So people complain about length. I think they have issues if length is a problem. Excuse me, mister. So going on, dang, it's an Akshay Khanna day. Another one with Akshay Khanna and Ajay Devgan. This is a guilty pleasure because the film is kind of However, the film is pretty dope. It's a psychological thriller, and you can kind of tell who's the bad guy and who's the good guy and who's the girl in the middle just by the cover. It's a brilliant film, psychological thing with a court case and a murderer. And the music is beautiful. The music is, I think this is the works of Sanjay Leela Bansali after he did Devdas and before Sanjay Leela Bansali started doing his own movies and music for his own films. So the music is phenomenal. The story is pretty cool because I love Urmila. I know she's a little bit of a attitude, bad girl, people that stuff, but I love her performance and her as an actress. She's just one of my favorites and cool. And she had some pictures with her and Jean-Claude Van Damme once, so I wonder if they dated too. So, bam, and it's pretty dope. Because that's where I get my Urmila action and Samurai X, Rurouni Kenshin. I didn't like the series. This is a legit one, and they're making a movie. They just did 4 movies, I think 3 or 4 movies of Rurouni Kenshin, but they're doing a new one called The Beginning, and it's about this, I believe. And this is the cream of the crop. This is the most beautiful animated samurai dramatic epic I've ever seen in my life. Hopefully you could get it and see it. It is really good. The show is a little different for me, my taste. Oh my gosh, where is it? I had this movie. I just grabbed all these stuff. My room's a mess. Anyways, I was trying to get this film by this director I really like, but Vidhu Vinod Chopra, a great director. There's a movie called Eklavya. He did a movie called Mission Kashmir with Hrithik Roshan, who's a big star in Bollywood, which was about terrorist operations, and then the hero police force trying to stop it. That was Mission Kashmir, and but I think Eklavya was one of his finest works after the movie Parinda with Anil Kapoor and Madhuri Dixit and Nana Patekar. Nana Patekar is an amazing actor. But this one, in fact, they do a nod to Parinda in this, where they're watching Parinda in one scene. But this is a cool story about a palace guard who's a palace guard in today's time, kind of an out-of-date job, but he's still loyal to the king, and there's a murder, and he's trying to find and seek revenge for the people who wronged his master, and it's really cool, and there's other twists, and it has that tone that I like that I miss from Bollywood. Because sometimes I feel Bollywood is very much like anime, where they found their niche as far as being a market that's marketable to a certain group, but then they kind of start trying to please everybody, and I feel that they've kind of lost their edge sometimes. So when these films that come out where they kind of push the boundaries, I like and give credit for. Where did I put oh, here it is. Yeah. Here we go. Mission Kashmir, the one I was talking to you about. There we go. Star cast again. Vidhu Vinod Chopra. So if I was going to give you a trilogy, a Vidhu Vinod Chopra by your boy Kojay, I've seen his work. This is the second one you would see, Mission Kashmir. Adopted Son, where his parents, I believe, were terrorists. Adopted by this guy who killed his parents, and he felt bad for the boy, so he adopted the boy as his own son. He finds out he killed his parents. Then he joins terrorist activist groups, and he has to track him down. Very beautiful sets, great story, wonderful action. This was one of the first Bollywood films to be dubbed in English. That was weird. So I just skipped that track. I think this is actually the American. Yep. Again, Sony. They did the same thing with Lagan. How can you find this film? I don't know. But here's the first Vidhu Vinod Chopra film I highly love. Parinda. Again, crime story. It's a story about two brothers, a cop and his little brother, criminal gangster, and then he's caught in the middle. This is the little brother there. So this is him older, and he gets involved with the mafia while trying to reconnect stuff with his the girl he loves. So, and that is intense. I have to revisit it to make sure I don't say anything that will ruin anything. But Kojay's Vidhu Vinod Chopra trilogy would be watch Parinda first, Mission Kashmir, and then Eklavya. So that is my little recommendation for y'all to check out. He's a phenomenal director because I like his choice in sets and everything. In fact, I just remembered something. I wonder who directed Dole Sajana. Anyways, I'll check that out. And lastly, this is just a personal. If you're a fan of Mani Ratnam, this is a remake of one of his films, but he produced it, and so he got to oversee it. So it's like, what is it, Sakire? I don't know, the Tamil original. Usually I like originals. I don't like reboots or remakes. However, this one is an exception. This is shot so beautifully, and I feel it's like he got to tell the story he wanted to tell in the beginning with a bigger budget. And both films are phenomenal, and I think the Tamil one is better because when Shah Rukh Khan comes in at the end, which is not a spoiler, everyone knows that, I feel his role is extended just to give him more camera time, and that kind of kills the movie for me for a bit. So the ending is a little bit anticlimactic, but this film is beautiful. It's like one of the best soundtracks by A.R. Rahman for Bollywood industry, not the Tamil. And even though the Tamil one came first, but you know what's up. It's just great. And the actor and actress, they didn't get along on set, I hear, but their charisma for their characters was beautiful. And they were actually voted best couple that year. So that's good. In America, that is. So that's a little bit movie share with you all. Thank you so much for coming through. I hope you enjoyed geeking out with my boy Film Gob, who's next to geek out with and talk about deep stuff. I am talking with my boy Will Rollins. I want to bring him on, and I got some other friends I want to bring on, like Vega and who else. And we'll talk about anything. But hey, thank you so much for tuning in to Kojay's Corner, where we just chill, kick back, have a good time, and I hope you all doing well. Restore the Snyder Verse. You know what's up. And much love, everybody. And oh, here we go. All right, don't forget to get Days Gone on PS Plus. Thank you. Will do. And yeah, I'll see you all. Take care. We'll do this again real soon. Much love. Yay.